We are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Club, episode 7. If you haven't noticed, we're doing the Terminator. He's behind me, and he's pissed. We have a special panel. Well, we have a repeat panel. We don't have any special guests, but everybody on this panel is very special to my heart. So let me. First and foremost, I got to bring on our host, our fearless host. I think it's him. I'm not sure. So let's bring him in. Oh my God.
Are you Sarah Connor?
Oh my! I'm not Sarah Connor.
Are you Sarah? Oh
no, I'm sorry, sir.
Wrong. I'm in the wrong house.
Wrong. Yeah, you're in the wrong area. Thank you. Wow, that was scary. Who else was freaked out by that? Is that Chris under the mask? Are you going to keep that on, Chris? You're welcome to.
Who is this, Chris? I'm Cyberdyne Systems Model 101.
Sorry, my bad. I'm just waiting for some people to file in here. Hey, John, how are you? What's up, David? I see some comments. I always forget to look at the comments. Let's bring on our esteemed panel. And we'll get going on the Terminator discussion. If that's okay with you, Mr. Terminator.
Affirmative.
Okay, fair. Our first guest is shaking her head backstage, as always. She always shakes her head because she thinks I'm ridiculous. Krystle.
That's true. That's true.
Are you Sarah Connor?
What's up?
Is that Sarah Connor?
I wish I could kick ass like Sarah Connor, but no, it's not me.
Well, Terminator.
Terminator's
pissed. Look how pissed he looks.
He looks pretty crazy.
We also want to welcome Mr. Brian O'Halloran. Brian, hello.
What's up?
What's up? You are not Sarah Connor.
No, I did live next to a family called O'Connor, but I don't think it would be the same Connors.
Mr. Terminator, would the O'Connors be okay to kill?
Not affirmative. Are you Kyle Reese?
No.
Neither of us are them.
I'm 0 for 4 today.
I did sing with the actor who played him, his wife's, in a karaoke duet, which I was
Mr. Terminator,
That's awesome.
That was frightening because I thought Kyle Reese would come into the bar and kill me.
And then last but not least, we have Marilyn Ghigliotti.
Hello.
Are you Sarah Connor?
What's up? Are you Sarah
I am
Connor?
not Sarah Connor.
No, we don't have Sarah Connor. Maybe we do have another guest coming. Am I going to get that?
Oh yeah, there's.
Marilyn, do you have your speakers
I
on?
need some echo. That's weird.
There's an echo somewhere.
Hold on, let me check because
We
I
have-
have that problem.
I can wear my headphones if need be.
We have some technical difficulties.
And
Are we
What's up,
back?
Rob? What's up,
Hold on.
Robert?
We're good?
I think
I
we're
think
good.
we're good.
I did have a good trip, Robert. Thanks for asking.
All
Awesome.
right. Well, let's get started. Joe will not be joining us tonight. He's getting sushi,
Okay.
Brian.
Joe's terminated. Sorry.
Joe's
His
getting sushi.
monthly sushi.
But we can get started. We can get
Yes.
started, and we will
Yes, we
have
can.
one other guest joining us. It may or may not be Sarah Connor.
Oh, don't get my hopes up.
It does begin
Don't
with
get
an
my
S.
hopes up.
The Terminator is very animated today.
For the audience
Yeah.
out there, we did try to get some special
We
guests, but it didn't work out.
We did try.
Yeah.
We did try.
Not super
Michael Bean's right now in Spooky Empire in Orlando. Amber tried so hard to get him as a guest, but so shout out to Amber for trying so hard.
Well,
Amber,
I
thank
did
you.
try to get Linda Hamilton as well, but she gets anxious about doing these things, and I totally forgot about that. And when her rep kind of told me that, I was like, oh, that's right. I totally forgot. Because I did meet her in person at a convention, and she's a very nice person.
Killing Terminators, absolutely fine. Talking about Terminator, frightened to death.
Odd. It is odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's get started.
Okay, Terminator.
Yes, today is a very auspicious day. We are reviewing the classic sci-fi horror film, action film as well, directed by James Cameron, 1984, The Terminator. Such a classic film. And for those who did not watch the movie, or maybe you never watched it, that's okay. And you need a quick recap.
No one saw.
Here it goes. Quote, a human soldier is sent from 2029 to 1984 to stop an almost indestructible cyborg killing machine. That's me. Sent from the same year, which has been programmed to execute a young woman whose unborn son is the key to humanity's future salvation. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome to me. Yeah, he actually Cameron this came to him in a nightmare, right? Like a dream.
Yeah. So there's actually two different, I guess not conflicting, but like parallel stories. So he got the idea while working on Piranha 2 in Rome. He got fired twice in that project. So he spent the last of his money buying a plane ticket, and so he was starving, and then he had a literal fever dream where he dreamt up of a metal endoskeleton in his kitchen with a butcher knife. And he's like, oh, and then he made a really awesome concept art of it, actually, which I have here.
Ooh, yeah, I want to see. That'd be fun.
So that's what he drew, or that's what he painted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was
Cameron did this. This is
yeah. James Cameron did a lot of this artwork. Actually, he got it started. One of his early jobs was art director for a TV show in one of his studios. So he did this. He also painted a early concept of Terminator, played by Lance Henriksen, he ended up being one of the cops instead of Arnold. Lance was supposed to be the original Terminator. So Cameron also did this as well.
I had no idea that he was an artist as well. That's great.
While I was watching it, I was like, oh shoot, I could have maybe tried to have gotten Lance Henriksen, because I actually sort of worked with him on a film. We didn't work together. Until I started watching it, I was like, oh gosh, it's I totally forgot about all these people and didn't realize some of the people that were in it.
When did you watch it?
Yesterday.
See, I watched it 2 days after our last get together, and I kind of wish I had watched it yesterday as well.
I like waiting till just before, at least that week.
You've got because honestly, I thought about it today, and I was like, man, it's all gone again.
Especially with pandemic brain fog.
Yeah,
it'll come back. How many times you've had to seen it more than once? So
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah,
it's same here.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those movies that just floats away, I guess.
It's been a long time. For me, it's been a long
time.
Yeah,
it is fun watching it, even if it I've seen it a zillion times. I haven't watched it in
I can't take Chris seriously.
20 years. What do you mean? Chris isn't even here.
I'm Cyberdown Systems Model 101. Who is this Chris?
No,
why did they sent the Terminator that does this?
Run
this is a malfunctioning Terminator.
I'm a prototype model. Don't
His side is he's a hibachi chef and a side hustle.
It's the first. This is the first Terminator before Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now do you realize though that we're only 8 years away from the war part of that whole thing?
If I remember correctly, one of the lines, Kyle Reese, he was saying, "I served with the space future para airborne from 21 to 27." So actually, he's fighting right now. And he ended his service in 2027, and then he went back in time to 1984. So
right.
Kyle Reese is fighting the future war right now.
Right
this second.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
what side are you guys on?
We know what Chris is, or we know what Chris is. know who he's rooting for. So
Well,
let's
listen,
get-
if there was any training for any future kind of cyber war, this past pandemic was kind of like, quick, make sure you have all toilet paper, make sure you have plenty of water. The only change would be make sure you have a dog that can bark at the Terminator.
Right.
Yeah, you need a warning. Stanley wouldn't get it.
Crystal's set with the dog, so she's good.
He's deaf, so he's kind of worthless in this scenario.
They smell the Terminator.
Okay, then we're great. But yeah, so what are like when? Okay, so obviously, not obviously, we've all seen this movie before, right? Before this last month. Yeah. Okay. So what? Okay, I've got a huge question, and maybe this is like should be saved towards the end, but we're just gonna dive on in here. I want to know what made the quote "I'll be back" so famous. Because when I rewatched the film and it happened, I was like,
that was it.
Okay. You know,
it's really interesting. There,
I think I don't know that it was anything. I don't think it was anything because it was so striking. I just think it's because of what it was. I mean, it's just one line.
Also, Arnold has been known for those one-liners throughout like his career in the 80s, and like I'll be like, if you remember like Commando and all those movies where he'd always throw out one of those one-liners. I maybe that was why it's stuck out.
Previous to this film, it was just Conan he was known for, and then this film came out. And so I'll Be Back was kind of like didn't catch on till more films of his came out where he was the king of the one-liners, and for some reason the I'll Be Back just stuck with him, and he's even used it in other movies. So you know, it's kind of like some dude's catchphrase, like I don't know, like people who ask kind of thing, like what?
I wonder if it just follows him around his whole life too, you know.
I'm sure.
I feel like that one definitely did.
I'm sure he'll have that on his tombstone. Here lies Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back.
I love it. So okay, so I like so some of you guys are a little older than I am, like
all right, don't rub it in.
All right. I'm just saying, like, was I'll Be Back really popular when this movie hit? Or was it like you said, it got bigger later? Because I never even thought that was an option. But when you said that, I was like, interesting. So when the film came out, was that like something that was thrown around a lot or not so much?
I feel like it was.
Well, it is funny. He says I'll be back, and then
and then he crashed in.
I agree. I do find it funny, but just it's like to me growing up, I feel like it was maybe one of the most iconic lines. I quoted it all the time, and I didn't even find I'll come back, but he changed it. Yeah, thank God he did, David Ross, because I'll come back would not be the same whatsoever.
I'll come back.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Proper grammar would be I'll come. I shall
return.
I shall return.
It's really interesting because
Christopher makes a good point that I'm hearing feedback again. Exactly. Crazy. Christopher makes a good point. I feel like the line caught more in the sequel, which is true potentially. I feel like
does he say it in the sequel?
He does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of callbacks in the sequel. Not just to the catch lines, but a lot of like the small scenes where like, you know, Arnold being shot, being thrown through a window from Tech Noir that happens in the shopping mall in T2. You know, I'll Be Back. Sarah Connor's or On Your Feet, Soldier. The No Fate line. There's a lot of callbacks in the second film.
It seems like Arnold wanted to say "I will be back." They must have compromised on "I'll be back."
So in that particular exchange Brian was mentioning, like Cameron and Arnold got into like a legit fight and argument about how to pronounce this one line, and Cameron like put his foot down. He's like, you know, Arnold, I don't tell you how to act. Don't tell me how to rewrite or write. And you know, Cameron stuck to his guns, and you know, it turned out to be a defining quote for the rest of Arnold's life.
Damn.
Now I know why he wasn't in Avatar. Thank you.
Now, looking at everybody's IMDb on this and stuff like that, Terminator, kind of, aside from Lance Henriksen, was a defining moment for everybody. Even though Arnold had Conan before that, this movie was a defining moment for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Except for O.J. Simpson, who was also cast to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, OJ.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah, I think he took it and really well.
He was method acting.
Yeah, no. So supposedly, it's like they didn't cast him because he seemed too nice.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did hear that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and
Too into killing things.
Oh,
And-
What hey man, what if I use my white Bronco to chase down Sarah Connor?
not funny, Brian. Jesus.
Is Kyle Reese a waiter? Maybe bring Sarah Connor her glasses.
He hunts people with his white Bronco. Where are we going here?
I think it's great.
and it's interesting because with Cameron, when he was writing the Terminator role for Lance, he thought of the Terminator as someone who could be.
There's a Terminator in the house.
Oh, it's my brother. So he thought of Lance as a type of Terminator that could blend in with the crowd more. And then an agent referred the part to Arnold, and Arnold was supposed to originally read for Kyle Reese. And Cameron was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a courtesy meeting with Arnold. Then I'm gonna start an argument with him and turn him down." And then they were having a lunch meeting, and Arnold started really gravitating toward the Terminator. And he was saying how he's giving his personal insights of what the Terminator should be, and the two of them instantly jibed. So
he was initially pissed off. He was like, "I don't want to play this role because I only had like 26 lines or whatever." And then he started really getting into like what the Terminator, what he would act, and he was talking about how he would load the gun, and he said, I wouldn't look to load the gun. The Terminator would know how to load the gun without looking. So it was like coming up with all these things in the meeting and realizing he really wanted to play the Terminator.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's as I was watching this movie and my logical side immediately starts to kind of, well, they wouldn't do that. This wouldn't be happening. And it's like, but I was like, oh, wait a minute.
I will not stand here and let you logic out the Terminator.
No.
That shit can happen.
That's what I'm saying. Because he is a machine, he just instantly is probably connecting to the machines and knows certain things and to know what to do immediately. Because
right,
the brain, that computer brain, goes quicker than ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a testament.
Not necessarily in 1984, apparently, but but now I like how he had to use the phone book to find Sarah Connor.
I love that. I love that.
They're not. It's not like they're getting live updates in the future.
Well, like
no Wi-Fi, they blew it up.
Well, they actually talked about that because nobody had information on Sarah Connor in the future.
Right.
And they didn't even know her first name, so he somehow had gotten it. And so in that day and age, I mean, there really weren't computers, so it's like that was the only way to get where Sarah Connor was. They had a location, but not an exact location.
Mm-hmm. Which plays up like the horror element. Like even though this is a sci-fi film, Cameron always envisioned it as a horror film, and it actually was pretty surprised at the reaction. And this movie has a lot of really cool horror elements. You have an unstoppable killer. You can't stop him. He always gets back up. It has like the serial killer element where he's stalking everyone with the same name. Sarah Connor is like the most badass final girl ever. So I love all those.
He froze up.
Oh, did I freeze?
No.
No?
Okay.
You're good. Marilyn's freezing. Marilyn's having her own conversation.
Okay.
You okay, Marilyn?
I don't know why I'm delayed over here.
You're delayed.
Interesting.
You're in sync with us.
I was really happy they
Yeah,
couldn't teleport clothes into the future. Arnold's butt was probably my favorite. It was probably the thing I remembered most from this film.
Of course you did.
But
And you're going to be disappointed with the cover they're coming out with right now. So sorry.
No, the cover.
what is this cover?
Not Arnold. It's not an Arnold butt cover. Spoiler alert.
I'll take any butt. I like butts.
You're going to have to commission Sun to do the reverse angle.
Reverse butt.
Yeah. I'll give
Reverse
us later.
butt angle.
We'll have a talk. But growing up, what was something that really stood out to you guys about this film? Mine was Arnold's butt. And I would have to say, like, I remember as a kid, the really terrible CGI of like the head when he like takes the eyeball out. Like even as a kid, I was
Well,
CGI. That's by Stan Winston.
Oh yeah, it wasn't CGI. That was straight up.
No, it was this.
Yeah.
That's a puppet head.
Yes, a puppet head.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was
Sorry,
a
not
kid, I think I was confused. I was like, as a kid, I didn't realize that's a puppet head. But
Animatronic to be exact, but
right.
I mean, I definitely saw it being fake as a kid. Even as a kid, I was like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was the one thing that kind of stood out to me even more so now, being in the business and doing hair and makeup and seeing, you know, what people have done, you know, up close with some of this stuff. But also what is CGI though is once, you know, he burns up his skin and he's going after Sarah Connor at the very end, that was definitely back then CGI.
Yeah,
actually, I believe it was animation.
That was like
no CGI. That was
an animation, and then
here's the puppet now. Do you guys want to see the animatronic now?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Wait, really?
They left it out in the sun.
They left it out in the sun, I guess. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's amazing, though. I think that's really cool. They still have it. Honestly, I wonder what it's made out of because I thought it was made out of wax, but I guess it was not.
It's probably latex.
We most likely
never know. Yeah, that stood out.
Never know. I'm sure.
I think my favorite part of the movie when I was growing up was when the cleaning dude knocks on the door and he has the selections of responses in his
fuck you, asshole.
And he picks fuck you. I thought that was the most clever thing I've ever seen in my life. I still might be.
For me, the parts that really stood out, I loved all the Future Wars segments where it was like Kyle Reese, you know, running around in 2027 shooting lasers at giant hunter killers. You know, they also did that in Terminator 2. I actually watched Terminator 2 before I watched the first Terminator, but like it still blew my mind. Like especially there's this great documentary called Creating the Terminator, and they were going into how they did all the Future Wars segments. It's all miniatures, so they built like a set 3 feet up, and they made everything out of foam. They used like a lot of foam perspective, and they literally shot it while the machines, like the hunter killers, were being built, and it's just incredible. I just even though it's you know, it came out in '84, I think some of these segments still really, really hold up, and it's just an incredible testament.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very similar to the exact type of special effects techniques that they use for Empire Strikes Back, you know, all these miniature model making and having a camera swoop in close with other models on it is the way that they did a lot of that type of special effects back then. And so now you just hand that over to a programmer and you put it up to a CAD and they digitally construct it on screen and everything if you can afford it. I mean, this film was made for $6.4 million. That's not even the catering budget for Arnold Schwarzenegger movies now.
I mean, and you know, aside from the animatronic head and the animation of the robot itself, the effects were actually amazing for '84.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I saw this in theaters like 2 or 3 times I went because I was like, this is the best ever. Now, look, is it the first hunter-killer kind of movie robot thing? No. I mean, we had Logan's Run. We had Westworld. We had so many movies from the 60s and 70s that was the same kind of technology is going to be the death of man kind of,
And it will.
HAL 9000 for, 2001 Space Odyssey. So this was just, what was great about this was it was modern day at that time, regular people involved. You got to see a discotheque or, club in the 80s. You got massive machine gun, fire everywhere. It like clicked all the 80s adventure kind of boxes that would have made a film super successful back there. Plus Arnold Schwarzenegger was always great. This mass of a man, just taking things out was just like, this shit is awesome. He's not in some fake suit. He's like, that's really kicking ass.
There was a making of I saw years and years ago on how they did the whole punch through the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. I wish I knew the name of it. It's probably find it on YouTube. It's just really cool how they did it back then, like how they put it together.
If I remember correctly, Arnold was on the top of the car. They built a piston arm.
Piston arm. Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Is there like a specific special effect like that everyone was a fan of? Like I know, Ralph, you mentioned like the self cutting scene, taking out the eye or the punching scene.
Loved the eye and the arm fixing it. Him fixing his own arm. Just thought that was so cool especially when I was a kid.
I mean, as far as special effects, favorite scene. I mean, yeah, when you got to see the hunter killers in the future. And that, the flashback scene of him going through all that with Kyle Reese, I thought that was really, it was nice to see what the so-called futuristic backstory is. So that was really cool, special effects wise. And him obviously cutting off his own arm, slitting his arm to open it up and stuff, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Marilyn?
I'm trying to think of them all, because I was just so intent on like grabbing certain things and seeing how they did transitions and all that kind of stuff that it's like it all blended in for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just enjoying watching it again because there was the one transition of when Kyle Reese, before he gets to Sarah Connor and he's in the car that he jerry rigs, but he's watching that truck. And then he falls asleep, and there's a transition from present to past, and I thought that was very fluid. And then, I don't know. But as far as like the special effects, I don't know. All of it.
I'm gonna stick with my eyeball, like the dummy head. I like dummies. So
dummy head.
Yeah.
Like dummy head. Let's show the dummy head one more time for you.
I'm pretty sure there was a dummy in the last movie that I really liked too. I can't remember, but I remember talking about dummies on here.
Dummy head for you.
Dummy head for me, yeah. I mean, just because that is something that I remembered so clear in my head. Growing up, I just thought that was really just so bizarre and weird. So yeah, I would say that for sure. Yeah, that scene when he puts his eyeball like so I have an eye phobia, which is funny because now I have a tumor and it messes up my eye, but I have to take my eye now, which is terrible. But I have I can't do contacts because I hate when I see other people touch their eye, or like in Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, when he's like, like that is probably the scariest scene of any movie ever to me, and it's like not a horror movie whatsoever.
Right.
So when I saw that as a kid, I was like, like that was too much for me. And watching it again, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Wait, what were you like? One more time.
Yeah,
oh my God, guys! I think Sarah Connor's arrived.
Yay!
I'm not sure if it's her. Let's find out.
Oh, hey,
Are
what's
you
up?
Sarah Connor?
Is this Sarah Connor? Sun Sarah
I'm the
Connor.
Shermanator.
Shermanator. Mr. Terminator, would this be acceptable? Is that acceptable?
I'll have to do.
Terminator, no, you're not going to kill her. Okay.
No.
Hi, son.
What's
Welcome.
up, guys?
What's up?
Hello.
Welcome.
What's
Hello.
up, guys? What's up, son? I'm super cool.
Yeah.
Son, I'm very excited that you're on because your cover is amazing, and I think people are going to freak out about it. But
Thank you.
I want to
Everybody's
get your
very
thoughts.
excited.
Very.
Let's look at all the people shouting out for the Shermanator. This is great.
Shermanator, guys. Terminator's here. Well, it's son, you're right in the midst of us dissecting Terminator. What
right.
was Chris? What was your favorite special effect? Did you want to?
Oh,
We first have to ask her, did she see it?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Did you see it? Did you see it before you did the cover?
There's no of course.
It's not like ready to fight you, Brian.
Yeah, I didn't really see it, but I made this thing anyway.
Yeah, right.
So we just want to confirm.
I did, yeah.
You normally
Just last night,
the
though.
cover. Yeah. So did you watch it before you did the cover? I think is what Brian meant.
No.
Brian.
No,
No, Brian.
actually, I think the first Terminator is the only Terminator I have never seen.
really?
Oh,
You
wow.
haven't seen the Terminator 2. Interesting.
Well, I think that
Wow.
okay. Well, personally, I think the Terminator like franchise is amazing. Like, I think it's so cool, and I think it's so cool that each film is like a good standalone on its own. Like, it's just cool to watch any of them on their own. You don't need to know the whole. I don't know. I think they did a really good job with that. But yeah, I think I might have seen it when I was really, really young because it came out a few years before I was born. So yeah, I want to rub it in. But
Did you draw? Phillip wants to know if you drew Arnold's butt for Krystle. Krystle wants Arnold's
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, son. Does the cover have a naked buttocks?
no buttocks
butt.
this
No
time.
buttocks. No buttocks.
Sad. Can we get a redo?
Krystle wants her own personal commission of Arnold's butt.
Yeah, I want it to be Arnold's butt, not the girl's butt. this time.
Sorry, Ralph. I guess we have to burn all the copies and then start over.
Yes, let's start over. Arnold's butt cover.
What? Oh, I missed the first. Did you guys talk about?
Krystle was talking about Arnold's butt.
I just want to see a butt cover. That's all.
That's all.
No big deal.
That's all you missed.
You should blow it up and have a big poster of it and have add it to your collection.
I gotta say, I have so many Arnold posters.
I like to do Glutamus Maximus. Arnold's butt.
Did anybody like as soon as they like you saw his butt? Was anybody like that's Terminator's ass right there? Did anybody see that?
No. Because I had seen it so many other times that it's like it was, I wasn't affected by it this time.
I'm just like, that's Arnold's ass. Like that's what
But
they said. Like that's Conan's ass. Like,
what did come to mind for me, though, and I'm sure that it was probably in the script, but wondering how they felt about that. Having to be naked, like 3 of them.
I'm sure Arnold was probably fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he was Mr. Universe, so it's like there's nothing left to the imagination with a Speedo on. So yeah.
Those are
Ain't no CGI.
CGI. That is gorgeous Maximus. All right, we can move on. I'm happy now.
No, so we have to
Chris,
get
what
out of our
was your
system.
next-
It's great.
What was the next question?
Well, I think since Sun's here, I guess what's your favorite part of the film, and is there a particular special effects moment? We were talking about how cool it was that Arnold was cutting out his own eye, or fixing his arm, cutting it open, or the actual animatronics. Is there any scenes in the movie that catch out or that speak to you?
I think for me the coolest, like most memorable one was like the Terminator rising from like the fire, where basically his whole human aspect is completely gone.
Yeah.
Like that part was so epic.
Yeah.
That's a great
So
call.
cool.
I love that
it gives you shivers. It was actually pretty well done, I think, especially for the time. So
you know what they
Yeah.
did so well toward that end was like they kept making you think it's over, and then it wasn't over, and
yeah,
then it was
totally.
over. and it was such a great job of continuing to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, this is such a special effects marvel, but that's not the only reason why this movie's great. Like, it's a legitimately great story, and I was really interested when I was doing some homework how in the reception of the movie, like a ton of women flock to the screens, and one of the things.
I wonder why.
One, because of Arnold's butt, of course. Two, I think it's really cool that Sarah Connor is this amazing character that turns into a badass at the end, and there's also this really poignant love story. So those are just like 3 small examples of why the story is great. But I wanted to get everyone's thoughts of what part of the story that you really resonated. Why is it so amazing? It contributed to the legacy of this.
Why does it resonate with us? Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's because of this guy.
Yes, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
I could not believe that was Bill Paxton.
The late great Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
He got killed by a Terminator, and a Xenomorph, and a Predator.
I gotta say, what resonated me with this, even back then and even still today, is that this shit can happen. Everybody's real amazed at looking at Boston Dynamics fucking videos on YouTube, like, look at that dog robot, that's awesome. Oh my god, look at a robot doing skips and jumps. Hey, they're doing a music video.
Hey, that robot's got guns.
That's just one step away from going, are you Sarah Connor? Right? Trust me.
So Brian, I'm glad.
We need to make a meme.
I'm gonna have to go with Brian on this. Even as like a young kid, I thought that the story could be so real, and the older I get, it gets eerily creepier and creepier.
Yeah.
Like I've got a best friend who's like super smart, like wicked smart with computers and hacking and all this stuff, and he always jokes about how I'm like one of 3 people on the list that, when he makes Skynet, that won't be killed. And it's funny, but at the same time you're like, you are really smart, and if you ever got money and funding, I would be low-key really afraid of you. So, and there are a lot of people like that. Like, there are a lot of really smart tech people. I mean, I've got friends who just hacked the satellite, this year, like for the hackathon. Like, that's what they do. I've got friends who work at like, SpaceX and NASA, and they literally just watch satellites and they can target things on Earth. And I'm just like, and it's just like it could happen,
I think we're live on the internet with people, right? you don't want to have to testify at your federal trial.
No, they do it legally. They do it legally for the government. Hackathon, they work with the government.
Krystle, I work for a cyber guy. Can you tell me who your friends are? So
I am currently putting in my official name change to Krystle Starr so that I do not get hunted.
I think there's also something that's cool about. It's almost like a horror movie with a sci-fi twist. I mean, it really, in some ways, is. That's what we. That was what I thought was really cool, especially in the scene when he like kills her roommate and the boyfriend. I mean, that's really like a horror film setup, and the idea of something continuing to come for you no matter what.
No matter what, even the cops can't stop it.
And that's why
can't stop it.
That concept, or even like I saw, if you've seen It Follows, which was made, obviously it's only a few years old. I'm probably like 6-7 years old. The concept of something relentlessly coming for you is so, I don't know what it is, but there's something really primal, visceral to that. And I think that's part of maybe what resonates with me. If I think about it.
That's cool. For me, it's same thing. I love horror, but I also love Krystle's point. Like, the name of the bar, Technar, became a subgenre. Basically, we're explaining how tech noir is the dark side of technology. And today we have shows like Black Mirror, which continues that type of tradition. And to Brian's point, there are some really scary, like real life analogs to Terminator that have been already built. Like there's legit a government surveillance program called Skynet that exists. Literally, like a week and a half ago, I read an article. The Army is creating biohybrids. These are machines being fused with organic tissue. So they're making me literally right now. It's crazy.
Okay, so they actually bred a human baby or embryo with monkey. So I mean, it's like, did they not watch Planet of the Apes?
Did they not listen to Ian Malcolm?
It's like how.
Is this why banana prices have skyrocketed? Just curious.
But supposedly this is so that they can actually then do tests on them. So they're actually making that so that they can do experimental.
Sorry,
I just ethically, it's like, what is this? I don't know. Anyway,
consequences. One of those. Let's see if we can do it. There we go.
Can we please discuss the score real quick before we go any further?
Yes, I have.
It's amazing.
Image.
That's all.
Here we go. This is the current
score. The score of the film.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry.
But we'll get to that. We will get to that Terminator.
The musical score, you mean?
The musical score
by Brad Friedel. Like, what an amazing score by Brad.
This really ties everything together in my mind. Any thoughts on the score? Anything we want to say that hasn't been said?
With Brad, like his whole, I guess, theme or thesis about the film was he wanted to create a score that emulated like a machine's heart, and he did everything in his own garage. Like it was crazy low budget, but like it was a lot of trouble for him. But he did it and went beyond and beyond. It's like it's insane how good it
is. Are you playing the score?
It sounds so garbled right now.
I don't know. Is it garbled?
Yeah, it sounds really bad.
It is. It is slightly gargled.
Oh well.
Yeah.
As far as the score for me, especially the title piece, is right up there with John Williams' Jaws theme. The dun 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 can easily be right next to Jaws's dun 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 dun. So that kind of feeling of something chasing you, be it a shark, be it a robot, I think it landed incredibly well.
Sorry, I'm distracting you.
Even the lovemaking music was kind of just this simple piano was really good. I think they used the music very wisely in it.
Okay, so I watched the Terminator with my Twitch stream family. We didn't do it through Twitch; we did it through our Discord. But I had only seen like the TV version of Terminator, so I didn't know you got nipples. And you got nipples. I was like, oh, sorry, everyone. Yeah. Titties and ass and titties. That's what we got in this movie.
Something for everyone.
There is something for everyone.
Linda Hamilton was very well ripped and fit in that one. And we talked about this at the Night of the Comet show. The hair was to die for.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was.
You know, it's coming back. Like that style is coming back, and it's freaking me out. Like the mullet, the mullet-esque is like I've seen it on a lot of Instagram pages, and I'm like, why?
That's not
doesn't mean that it's going to.
Should I do it? Should I cut? Like here?
No. I think you should go for it.
Are they chunky layers, Marilyn? Help us out. Are these like hardcore chunky layers, or is it more of a mullet? I'm confused.
It's like a razor cut.
No, not even necessarily. It's what's really doing it. It's the perm. is making it look a certain way.
And those are coming back for dudes though, not for ladies this time. Dude perms are like a huge thing. Have you guys seen this? Like
I'm getting a perm.
It's like 18 and 20-year-old dudes are getting perms, and then they're
Joe
cutting.
didn't want me to tell you this, Joe. That's why Joe couldn't make it tonight. He's getting
a perm.
He's getting a perm.
Stay away from water.
He grew out his hair finally, and now he's getting.
Can't breathe.
I think there's a picture of Joe with a perm, so I'll get it for you guys. Could we? Since we're running low. We're running short on time. Is there anything else to cover before we get?
Did Kyle Reese do any other films after this?
Oh,
Michael Biehn. He was an Alien or Aliens. I'm sorry.
I think that was before, though, right? Was it before?
No, after.
No,
after.
Yeah.
Okay,
after.
So Aliens is a pretty big film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did
Tombstone.
Henriksen shows up in Aliens.
Okay. Cool. Tombstone.
Cool.
He was in last season's Mandalorian.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he was the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was character Lang. Okay, yeah, chapter 13. Wow, jeez.
Well, dang.
Let's see. I got Joe with There's Joe with a perm.
Oh my.
Oh.
Get out of here. That's a win. I thought you were cereal.
That's both of us permed up.
Yeah. You guys are hot.
That's a real picture.
Like real hot.
Real picture.
I love the green.
Sorry, Chris. Yes. What were you saying?
Oh, we were saying like when you're showing the photo, your green screen was messing up.
Getting in the way.
It's okay.
So, full disclosure, when I saw this, I was in high school, and then that October in high school, I did dress as the Terminator. I literally got liquid latex, put it over
photos?
I had a lot. They're at my mother's house, and I'm 2 hours from my mom, so I didn't go down there to get it. But yeah, so I dressed up that. I had a black leather kind of rocker jacket and had a fake Uzi machine gun. This is when you were allowed to bring fake Uzis into schools.
Yeah, not now.
Back in the day, kids today, they've really upped it up by bringing real Uzis to school. So did that. I still have it. It's rolled up, but I have an original Terminator poster, movie poster. So I was a huge fan of this franchise, still am, and love everything Arnold ever did, to be honest with you. So this was a movie that when I saw it was on our list, I was like, yes. There's no way this movie can fail.
Yeah, no.
Brian and Marilyn, like in the course of your careers, like so. I know Marilyn. You said you have Lance. Is there anyone else, and Sarah, or I'm sorry, Linda Hamilton? Did you meet anyone else? Whether it's the actors, the cast, or production team on Terminator?
You mean my years out here? Actually, yes. So, and it was only this morning that I realized who she was because now I gotta the one that was her waitress friend. I forgot her name. Marianne. I think it was Marianne.
Oh, I think I wrote this down. Hold on. Sean Sheps as Nancy, Sarah's coworker at the diner.
But what's her real name?
Oh, Sean Sheps.
No. Okay, no. Anyway, Lance Henriksen, I worked in Lake Erie with, but again, like we didn't work together. And then, see if I'm looking at it right here. And it was such a bit part, but what I thought was very interesting because remember when the kid puts the ice cream into her smock and she's looking down and she comes up and her friend comes over to her. It's like, don't worry, in 100 years or whatever, we're not going to even worry about that. And it's like, prophetic, because pretty soon she's not going to care about that because she's going to be running for her life.
As far as meeting other cast members, I've had lunch at conventions with Lance, amazing guy who talks about incredible stories. Michael Biehn's wife, I've been to dozens of conventions where the two of them in together. We were in Pittsburgh for a Horror Hound event, and they were doing karaoke at the hotel that we were all staying in. And so I was talking to Tom Savini and a few other people at the at dinner, so to speak. And the wife comes over, and I think her name is Blank. I forget her first name. She runs over. She's like, let's do karaoke together. I'm like, sure. What song? I'm like, pick whatever you want. I'm like, whatever. And so I'm talking to Doug Bradley and Tom Savini and blah blah blah. And she's like, hey, we're up. I'm like, okay. She hands me the microphone. I'm like, okay, what's the song? She's like, we're singing Secret Lovers. And I'm like, Lovers. That song. And I'm like, you're married to Michael Biehn, like the guy who killed the Terminator, and he's going to come and hunt me down. Are you crazy?
And you survived, Brian.
That was the closest I've ever been killed by someone from the Terminator, perhaps.
So it was Marianne, and I can never pronounce her last name. Marianne Murleo. I'm sorry if I butchered it, but anyway, she actually played the wrong Sarah. She played one of the wrong Sarahs. I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's cool. So for me, I think the one thing that I loved about the movie that I'm really glad they stuck with was the ending, because originally the ending was completely different, and they showed it at George Lucas's ranch, Skywalker Ranch, and a lot of the test groups didn't like it because originally they had Sarah kind of like she was sitting at a park bench and she was really old with a lot of old makeup on, and was it John, her man John, was like a senator or something, and basically like they had just kind of ended like happy-go-lucky, like, oh, Judgment Day like was avoided, and that was the original ending, and people hated it and they didn't like it at all. And so what we got was like that 45-second clip of like kind of, or I don't know how long it is, maybe like a minute or two of her on the bike, like coming up, taking the picture, and kind of having it all tied back together, which I love the photograph. I think it's awesome that it was taken by someone kind of random, like it was by her and just like she was by herself. So I thought that was really, really cool. And I'm really glad they didn't do that, because I think that if I had seen like her dressed up in makeup, like as an old, like she wouldn't be that badass anymore, right. like another lady, but we got to see her become like a super badass in the other films as well. So that's something that I think is really cool. And I'm really, really, really glad that they changed the ending, because I don't think it would be like the franchise it is today had they not. So
I didn't even know about that alternate ending. So I'm glad too.
we are short as hell on time, and people are clamoring for the Sun cover. So let's do two. We have two things. We have Sun cover, and then we're gonna rate this movie, and then we're gonna get the hell out so people can watch the NFL draft. It seems like a couple people are clamoring. Jerry, we hear you. I got you, girl. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna reveal the Sun cover.
Let's do Sun cover. Okay.
3.
Let's go with the layouts.
Okay, here you go.
Layouts.
Oh, it's last time. Oh wow, I forgot how big those were.
Okay. Drum roll.
I get carried away. I'm so sorry.
Are you guys ready for the release?
Yes.
Okay, here we go, guys. It's going up in the store in a minute.
Need a drum roll.
Sexy. I love it. This is amazing.
Cool.
Yo, if she says I'll be back, I ain't leaving. Damn.
Anything you want to mention, Son, about this cover?
Son, I see a little bit of you, and I see a little bit of Krystle in her.
Oh my god!
Oh, you just wait till the next one.
My hair.
Krystle Sun mashup.
You just wait, because the next one reminds me of Krystle so much.
Krystle Sun mashup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this?
Is that the one that reminds me of me?
That's the one that reminds you of Krystle.
Somebody does this. It's not me. I'm just kidding. It's me.
This is the Krystle Sun mashup. Top on.
It's hilarious.
There you go, guys.
I love
It's going to be up in the store shortly.
Yeah.
amazing.
This
I love it.
amazing.
The
Like I
Twilight
might actually frame this next to my big poster.
That'd be
I'm gonna like see if I have room. I think I could.
I guarantee this book will sell out in like 2 hours or less. Like this is by fun, son. Like I think your best cover. It's easily my favorite cover.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
Thank you so much.
I think so. I think you immediately look at it and see the film like it's such an iconic piece. Like it's perfect.
Cute.
You even got a
great shout out
noise.
to the original poster.
Noise.
Noise.
I didn't see the Terminator part. I'm sorry. Oh,
you missed
the gun. Yeah.
There you go, Chris.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We pretty much just kind of stuck to the poster design, right? So I think it was really cool. Kudos to Dave for picking Robin Hood because it really worked with the eye. And now that I think about it, why was the writing on the left? Sorry, on his right eye. When his cybernetic eye was showing more on the.
That's a really good point.
Anyway.
Well, we'll never know the truth.
Well, because they couldn't put "fuck you, asshole" in that little thing. You scroll through options, it only scrolls through the right.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Son and I are the only ones.
Here's our scores.
Just given 5s and 1s.
We're extreme.
So it seems like Krystle and Sun are easy graders. We know this.
Wow.
Okay. These are our past grades. Joe has to catch up. He has a lot of catch up. He's made the first 2. Okay, so who wants to start with their grade for Terminator?
I will.
Okay, Marilyn.
And even though I do love the film, I'm only going to give it a 4.5, only because.
Ooh, 4.5. What?
Grape smugglers.
4.5 grape smugglers.
Yeah.
What does that pertain to? I'm not even sure.
We just saw them really quick, like the roommate's boyfriend. Nobody highlighted that.
Okay, and I love you. Yeah, I love you, son. Oh my god,
I love you back.
Yes, we actually talked about this on our Twitch. Yeah, pants were a little tight, and I love the headphones that you're wearing. Also.
Guys, okay, so Marilyn, you give it 4.5, leaving a half point for just not being the most perfect film.
Well, just because I know that there are other movies that I'll probably love more and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's still a pretty high score for me.
It is a high score. It's a very fair score. Brian?
I'm going to give this thing a fucking 5-star review, my friend.
I knew that was coming. That was Brian's first 5, guys, I think.
Stan,
it is.
You got Cameron, you have Arnold, you have Stan Winston. Come on. That's it.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get a 5.
Oh.
Like, I love Arnold so much. It's stupid. Like y'all have seen parts of my house. Like it's yeah. And if I gave Edward Scissorhands a 5, like I'm gonna have to give him a 5.
Now you screwed yourself.
I know.
Marilyn figured it out. Marilyn was like, you can't ever go 5, although you never know.
You can, but you just got to make sure, even though.
To support my brother in arms, Arnold, I have to give it 5 out of 5 Terminators. Excellent story. It has both sci-fi and horror, which are my favorite genres. Amazing practical effects, and it's just a great story. And it created it's historic, and it's literally preserved in like the National Registry, or what's it called? Oh my God, it's preserved for all time. There you go. Thank you.
The American Film Institute has it as a national treasure.
I will. Son,
I didn't know that. That's cool, Brian.
What is your? How many grape smugglers did you give it, son?
It's a 5 for me too. It's so entertaining. It just has you on the edge of your seat the entire time, even for how old it is.
Yeah.
It's such cool imagery and like
easy on the old.
Not that old.
And like what Chris says, like sci-fi and horror are my 2 favorites. So, yep, 5.
Yeah, I shit. Marilyn made a good point because she did make. You want to give room for, but this is
It's a Terminator, sir.
This is a perfect movie.
This is a perfect movie.
So I have to go 5.
Get
I'm
outta here.
going to go 5 Arnold's.
We're bullying you.
I mean, you know,
5
okay.
Arnold.
So can you have multiple
Come
fives?
on, Marilyn.
So I
Marilyn,
guess
you-
so.
Come on,
Stick to your
Marilyn. Come on,
Stick to
Marilyn.
your guns, Marilyn. You,
All
no,
right,
you,
put the five. Put
you
the
do
five.
you.
Oh,
Give her a 4.5.
I want to make sure that when she runs into Lance Heinrichsen again, and I'm like, by the way, she gave Terminator 4.5 stars. Can you believe that, Lance?
I mean, did we all give it a was it
I
a
was at a
first
movie
perfect movie?
This is our first perfect movie.
First 5-star, all 5 stars, right? Landslide.
I don't know. Ask Brian. Ask Brian.
This isn't. Well, no, I think Marilyn changed the score just because she was peer pressured by Krystle.
No, not really. I mean, because it's like I kind of wanted to do the 5, but I gave it the 4.5 because of what I said originally. But I mean,
you made a good point. I agree with you.
The thing is, too, it's like I said, it's like it's not like there can't be other 5s. It's like it's not like I can only do 1 5.
You can only have one 5. I mean, look at Sun and Krystle. They give 5s every week.
You get a 5 or a 1, sir. You get a 5 or a 1.
They gave a 5 to Edward
You're either
Scissorhands.
cool or you're not. That's what we are. That's what we
If you're not first, you're last. Okay.
Wow.
Invited to
Where-
a party where you get to
Guys,
stay
it's been
home.
real. It's been real. Oh, wait, next month. Let's do a sneak peek. You guys want to do a sneak peek?
I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Okay, real quick.
Schedule
If a
is.
machine, a Terminator, can learn the value of
Oh, I
life,
forgot this was our movie next month.
maybe, just
Okay,
maybe we can too.
I'm going to do it.
I
don't know what Krystle's saying. Okay, I'm going to do a quick layout
Probably the
review.
best
guys.
quote from the film. No big deal. No big deal. Whoa,
Whoa,
whoa.
what the-
No,
Hey.
do it again. Do it again.
No, it's
Do it
over with. It's
The
over.
first one's free.
But
Do it again.
So
Do
with
it
Flash,
again.
It literally.
Was it
Do
Flash?
it
I didn't
again.
see.
Hold on, for you, Krystle. This is
Thank
for
you. Okay, I saw it.
Yeah, got it. That was hard. David
Z-
Ross.
For the Z rated, you will see the word Flash.
There it is. Yeah, Z-rated, there isn't a Flash. Flash Gordon's next month, guys. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Master. Oh, look at us.
Very
I will tell
exciting.
you right now, that's not going to get a 5-star from me.
You know, I actually have the Flash poster.
It is a great soundtrack.
I know I've seen it, but
Got another poster.
God,
Listen.
so long ago that I don't
Marilyn,
even
you're
remember.
really missing out on this movie. Actually, this is Joe's pick, and he better freaking join us instead of getting sushi for it.
Or her.
And we
Or-
are working
This
on
is
a
Flash
guest.
Gordon,
We are
right?
working on a guest. It's Flash Gordon.
Cool.
Amber, I hope you're back there listening, and she's working hard. She's probably texting me, telling me she got him right now. Okay,
Mhm.
I hope I can find it.
that is all she wrote. We'll find it.
Nice.
Oh, I have
Oh.
Yeah, so
I
you're
have
so
as
do
well.
party with him. Yeah, yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Like
He's
I,
very
yeah,
Since
he's
Krystle's
really cool.
there,
Yeah.
Krystle, give us where to find you, please, so we could.
Lately Twitch because I hate Instagram. They keep taking down my bikini pictures and it's pissing me off. So anyway, you can
everybody
find
off.
me. You can
you
find
have a
me
link
there.
tree now. You have a link tree.
Yeah, just do that. You can find everything. But I do Twitch every morning now. Coffee Monday through Friday, so you can come have coffee with me and just be silly for like an hour or two. Hey,
We'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna do
that.
that.
just come
Yeah,
have coffee
coffee.
with me.
I'm gonna have coffee with you.
Yeah.
Brian has his stuff always ready to go. Look at this professional.
Boom, boom, boom.
Brian, we can find Brian everywhere.
Of course.
Everywhere.
In the Matrix.
In the
In the
matrix.
Matrix. Brian needs a link tree. Brian's in the Matrix right now. Marilyn, we know where to find you. I think it's right here.
Yes, that is where to find me.
Yes, beautiful. That Clerks Girl on Twitter. Because I always forget that it's that, and I'm always trying to find you as Marilyn. And
You might
Sun.
be able to find it that way.
Let's see where Sun is here. Sun, where's your stuff? Oh no, We didn't create a sun banner. How dare us?
Sun banner.
Well, you can find her her Patreon at Art of Sun. You can find you on Sun Khamunaki.
That's how you spell it.
Everywhere.
We know where to find Sun. Everybody's already following her.
And speaking of Sun Khamunaki, the cover for these amazing covers are available for sale tonight. So
they are up on the store now at Zenescope.com. Thank you, Cyber Chris.
Dude, I love your Mandalorian. By the way, you just posted on Instagram, son. That is clutchness.
Oh yeah,
my boba.
And, guys, May the 4th.
You're boba. You're correct.
Thank you.
Good segue, Krystle. We are having a May the 4th. I know you did that on purpose. You're like, what are you even talking about? We are having a May the 4th live stream on, you guessed it, May the 4th. And Sun will be our special guest of honor. We'll be revealing a May the 4th homage cosplay cover then as well. So join us 3 p.m. Eastern. Guys, it's been real. We appreciate you coming
Always
by.
real.
Time to stuff my face.
We appreciate it as always. And we will see you next month for movie night.
I'll be back.
Oh, what day? What day?
May 28th.
Okay.
Noise.
Noise. All right, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
See you soon.